locality that celebrated Ambedkar Jayanti, because they are yet to understand Ambedkar's contribution to the making of modern India. Yesterday I was delivering this lecture, how Ambedkar, or what Ambedkar's contribution. That's why the question is, this is regarding the caste system. That caste system abolition is necessary for making of modern India. And unfortunately, Government of India in the last 60-65 years has taken several steps and programs and policies for helping scheduled caste, scheduled tribes. But abolition of caste system is no more on the agenda of any of the government or any of the political party of the country. Let us take another dimension of inequality, that is gender dimension of equality. Gandhiji brought women into the freedom movement. Women were brought first out of the kitchen and out of their home by Gandhi. That's the greatest contribution. Women's empowerment, in a genuine sense, began in this country after Gandhi assumed political leadership in 1920 from Bal Gangadhar Tilak. But except Gandhiji, if you want to know a genuine fighter and the champion of women liberation, he was none other than Dr. Ambedkar. He wrote a small book, Fall of Hindu Woman. Fall of Hindu Woman. And there he has analyzed how Hindu woman is restricted, confined, slavery, absence of growth, development, personality, and nothing of that sort. That's why all of you are aware, Ambedkar prepared Hindu Code Bill. Hindu Code Bill was necessary, essential according to Ambedkar for two grounds. One, right to inherit father's property, ancestral property. And second, the right to adoption. If you do not have a child, woman must have right to adopt a child and not necessarily man. Unfortunately, the Congress at that point of time, under the leadership of Jawaharlal Nehru, did not accept Hindu Code Bill and Ambedkar had to resign. You tell me in 1953-54 Ambedkar resigned because Hindu Code Bill and women's rights were not accepted by the government. Who can do that? Today you know what politicians are doing even to get rotten post somewhere in order to make money. Ambedkar resigned as law minister. And what is greatness of Ambedkar? Unfortunately in this country, non-Dalit women are yet to understand Ambedkar's contribution to their existence that they are today. Number of friends asked Dr. Ambedkar when he was preparing Hindu Code Bill, Baba said, why are you preparing Hindu Code Bill? Why you want women should be having rights of property of their father? All scheduled caste women, scheduled tribe women, they are landless laborers. They are living in ghetto, slaves, poverty stricken, unemployed. Where is the property? All the property will be, these rights will be obtained and they will be available only to upper caste Hindu women. Why do you fight? What reply Ambedkar gave? Don't talk rubbish. Ambedkar replied, I am not fighting today for right of property for women based on or divided on the basis of caste, Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. I am fully convinced that women have been in this country have been as victims of slavery, inequality, and dharma shastras, etc., as much as there is And you know, I should tell you, as many times I have read Indian Constitution, those many times I have tried to read Manusmriti. How such a book Manu could write? Hundreds of versions are there on Manusmriti. And Manu is considered, in Canada there is Manu statue, the wisest ancient law giver of India, wisest, who said that women do not earn freedom, no stri swatantrya karati. The unfortunate part is, despite the fact that Ambedkar, the greatest champion women's liberation, women's freedom, after Jyotirao Phule and Savitribai Phule, Ambedkar took from them. Ambedkar greatness was Ambedkar accepted Phule, the vernacular class non-metric person Phule, social reformer, okay, as his guru, along with Kabir and Buddha, the Ambedkar greatness. The topmost intellectual of 20th century accept a semi-literate person like Phule as his guru. This is Ambedkar genius. Ambedkar genius is not only bar at law, these, that, etc., etc. the recognition of Phule, bringing Phule into mainstream Indian society. Third important thing is Ambedkar as a labor leader. If you want to establish a welfare state, and Professor Nancharaya made a mention of that. Ambedkar was a law member, that is law minister, but he was not called law minister, but this one labor minister or labor member in Viceroy Executive Council between 1942 and 1946. And practically I must tell you, those who have not read Ambedkar in detail, not a single labor legislation after independence could be considered which Ambedkar did not initiate during those 4 years. This Ambedkar is basically pioneer of solving Indian labor's problem or Indian trade union movement. Without becoming trade union, of course he started Municipal Mazdoor Sangh, Mumbai Municipal Mazdoor Sangh, that he started. He himself was the president. He was also trade unions. But there is a part. Workmen's Compensation Act, he started in 1942. Sickness and Permanent Disability Benefit Act, he started. Maternity benefit, now people are getting, people in women, fortunately they are getting 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. Ambedkar started, he drafted maternity benefit. Your overtime wage, 1.5 times of your normal wage, if you work your normal working hours, 1.5 times is the rate of wage. It was in 1945, before the close of the Second World War. If you work beyond 8 hours a day, then you will get overtime. That overtime rate is 1.5 times of your normal wage. That 1.5 times Ambedkar started in 1945. Working conditions, good working conditions, canteens, each and every minute detail. When he went to coal mine in Dharma, Bihar, now it is in Jharkhand, Ambedkar went down into the mine, 400 feet down. And people say, I haven't seen because it was not possible for me to say Ambedkar. Ambedkar was so physically working. This Ambedkar was a staunch, a supporter and innovator of labor problem in the country. Ambedkar also started the Standing Labour Committee and tripartite 24 discussion. Industrialists or employers, entrepreneurs, workers and the government. That's all, and this standing committee and working committee exist even today. Now obviously Ambedkar fought for liberation for Dalit community, but it doesn't mean that Ambedkar's contribution confined only to that. One of the major disputes between Ambedkar and Gandhi was Ambedkar was claiming political leadership. And that also we must understand, most of the followers of Dalits, most of them across the country are not able to understand correct perspective the conflict between Gandhi and Ambedkar. Now it is not possible for me to mention in greater detail. From 1924, Ambedkar started Bahishkrut Hitakarani Sabha, Outcast People's Association. Bahishkrut, outcast. Till 1932, nearly 8 years, Ambedkar was busy with establishing human rights of the Dalit community. He started Mahar, water satyagraha, 14 times satyagraha, because the Dalit community must have right to drink water. Temple entry, Pune and Nasik. Now Ambedkar was convinced that it was not necessary for their upliftment, but Ambedkar was fighting for establishing the basic human rights, those were available for everybody. But then Ambedkar's basic argument was that the problems of I am in Hyderabad, I am phone करतो. संध्याकाळी I am very sorry. Extremely sorry. Ambedkar's argument was that the problems of the untouchables are essentially political problems. He wrote a book, small book, Mr. Gandhi and Emancipation of the Untouchables. Now, till Ambedkar was busy in fighting for establishing human rights of Dalits, Gandhi did not pay any attention. But Ambedkar started that untouchable problems are political problems. And in order to solve these problems, untouchables must get share in political power. The conflict was inevitable. Because you are the claimant, you are the competition, you are the competitor. And when you, all of you know, those who have studied Ambedkar's movement, is 1932, Ramsay MacNaughton, British Prime Minister, when they declared communal law, and when Britishers granted separate electorate to untouchables, like separate electorate to Muslim community as they were given in 1916, Lucknow pact between Taylor and Barrister Jinnah. Separate electorate were granted to the list for untouchables. And Gandhi went to fast into debt, and then the proposal was done away with. And then he came joint electorate and reserved seats. Now the question was, 1935 Government of India, the meeting, today we are talking of empowerment of women, empowerment of the least, empowerment of backwards and likewise. Ambedkar Government of India Act came in 1935 and the movement of giving transfer of power began. In 1937, first provincial election came into existence. Ambedkar, Independent Labour Party. Please remember, Ambedkar was humiliated like anything by upper caste Hindus. And still Ambedkar established Independent Labour Party. Ambedkar did not establish party on the basis of caste. Today each and every party is controlling the country by one dominant caste. I shall come to that in course of time. But the question is, Ambedkar established Independent Labour Party, contested 15 seats and got 13 seats elected, out of which 5 were belonging to so-called upper caste in 1937. Today, you are finding difficult to get one other caste person into your own party and getting him elected. That's why Ambedkar's basic argument was political empowerment, and that we are talking about inclusive political participation. Now again, in the broader perspective, if parliamentary democracy is to become successful, then each and every section must have meaningful share in political power. Because without that meaningful share in political power, you cannot make progress of your community and obviously not of your individual. Now, Ambedkar's